Good evening, viewers, and welcome to the Doordarshan News Bulletin. This is Saraswati presenting the headlines first. Mortal remains of former Prime Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh consigned to flames with full state honours in New Delhi today. President Draupadi Murmu, Prime Minister Narendra Modi attend cremation ceremony. Manipur Chief Minister N. Singh condemns indiscriminate firing by militants on civilians and security personnel in Imphal East. Chairman of the Grand Council of Chiefs, John Avkar Singh, urges Meghalaya government to implement a stable economic policy to attract private investors. Arunachal Pradesh Deputy Chief Minister Chona Mean calls on Union Environment Minister in New Delhi today, discusses key issues concerning environment and climate change. And in the Border-Gavaskar trophy, India scores 358 runs for the loss of 9 wickets against Australia in their first innings on day 3 of the 4th test in Melbourne. In national news first, the mortal remains of former Prime Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh were consigned to flames with full state honours at Nigam Bodh Ghat in New Delhi today. President Draupadi Murmu, Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar, Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Union Minister Rajnath Singh, Amit Shah and Jagat Prakash Nadda and Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla paid their last respects to the former Prime Minister after the ceremonial guard of honour. Sikh priests and family members of the departed leader recited verses from Gurbani before the last rites at Nigam Bodh Ghat. Several leaders from the Congress, including Party President Mallikarjun Kharge, Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi, also offered their tributes to the departed leader. Earlier, the final journey of the former Prime Minister commenced from the Congress headquarters to the cremation ground at Nigam Bodh Ghat. In more national news, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will share his thoughts with the people of the country and abroad in the Mann Ki Baat program on Akashvani tomorrow. The program will be the 117th episode of the monthly radio program. It will be broadcast on the entire network of Akashvani and Doordarshan All India Radio News website and News on Air mobile app. It will also be live streamed on YouTube channels of All India Radio News, DD News, PMO and Information and Broadcasting Ministry.
आकाशवाणी और दूरदर्शन के सभी चैनलों पर आप भी माननीय प्रधानमंत्री के मन की बात का हिस्सा बन सकते हैं। इसके लिए आप अपने सुझाव पोस्ट बॉक्स नंबर 111 आकाशवाणी दिल्ली पर भेज सकते हैं या फिर नमो ऐप या माई गॉव के ओपन फोरम में पोस्ट कर सकते हैं। तो याद रखें, रविवार 29 दिसंबर सुबह 11 बजे मन की बात।
In news from Manipur, Chief Minister N. Singh has strongly condemned the indiscriminate firing by militants at Sanasabi and Thamnapokpi in Imphal East, which injured civilians and security personnel. Taking to social media, the Chief Minister said the cowardly and unprovoked attack on innocent lives is an assault on peace and harmony. He said adequate security personnel have been rushed to the affected areas while the injured are receiving necessary medical assistance. Calling for the calm and unity in the face of such challenges, he said central forces and state police should have proper coordination and understanding when dealing with such situations. In news from Meghalaya, Chairman of the Grand Council of Chiefs John F. Singh has urged the Meghalaya government to implement a stable economic policy to attract private investors. Singh emphasized the importance of continuity even with changes in government and suggested the creation of a land bank to address unemployment and boost industries. Singh also highlighted the need to align the Meghalaya Economic Development Council with the Invest Meghalaya Authority to address concerns over land tenure.
I think in 1993, 94, the objective of that Economic Development Council was that to attract investment, we need economic policy, stable economic policies, right? So you can't just have, it's like sometimes there is this same debate at the national level, right? They say when the opposition comes, they'll scrap everything that whatever the ruling party has done. So that sometimes is kind of a, populistic kind of a talk, rhetoric. But at the end of the day, no one will come and invest if you don't have stable economic policies, right?
Arunachal Pradesh Deputy Chief Minister Chona Amin met Union Minister of Environment, Forest and Climate Change Bhupendra Yadav in New Delhi today. Taking to social media later, the Deputy Chief Minister said key issues concerning the conservation of nature and climate change were discussed in the meeting. He said the matter of compensatory afforestation with a view to expediting developmental activities in the state was also discussed. The Deputy Chief Minister said the Union Minister took his views into consideration and affirmed the need for collaborative efforts to ensure a balance between environmental conservation and progress. In more news from Arunachal Pradesh, Chief Minister Pema Khandu today commended the Assam Rifles for organizing a day with company commander for students in Changlang district. The Chief Minister said such efforts would boost patriotism and build stronger ties with local communities, inspiring the younger generation. The Assam Rifles had conducted the program for students of Global Intello School in Dayun Circle, Changlang. The event featured an inspiring documentary on the sacrifices of freedom fighters, instilling patriotism and respect for India's heroes. In news from Tripura, Chief Minister Manik Saha today attended a blood donation camp organized by the 9 Bullets Club in the Krishnanagar area of Agartala. Later, taking to social media, the Chief Minister encouraged blood donors to attend the blood donation camp, stating that blood donation is a great gift and everyone must come forward to donate blood.
তো আজকে এখানে এসে অনেক কিছু জানলাম যে শুধু ফুটবল খেলা না, বিভিন্ন খেলার সাথেও যুক্ত ফিলান্থ্রপিক যা যা কাজ আছে সবই ওনারা করেন। আমরা দেখেছি যে 9 বুলেটস ক্লাবের যে একটু আগে যা শুনলাম তাতে দেখা গেল বস্ত্রদান থেকে শুরু করে যখনই অন্যান্য আর্থসামাজিক উন্নয়নের ক্ষেত্রে ওনারা কাজ করেছেন, যারা দুস্থ বাড়িয়ে দিয়েছেন এবং কোভিডের সময় কিন্তু ওনাদের উল্লেখযোগ্য একটা অবদান, আমার কাছে যা খবর আছে ওনারা কিন্তু সেই কাজটাও করেছেন।
In news from Assam, the third phase of ration card distribution was initiated across Assam today. In this connection, Assam Minister Nandita Garlosa distributed ration cards among 3,361 new beneficiaries at a public meeting held at the ground of Sayaram Girls Educational Institution in Borpeta. In Kolyabor, ration cards were distributed among 3,238 families by State Minister Keshav Mahanta under the auspices of the Food, Public Distribution and Consumer Affairs Department. Likewise, State Minister Urkao Gaura Brahma distributed ration cards among 11,823 new beneficiaries under Manas Assembly constituency in Buxa district.
में आज जितना आके देखा है 3000 नंबर्स ऑफ राशन कार्ड दिया गया है। सरकार ने रखा है कि यहाँ पे बहुत सारा फैसिलिटीज़, ये सिर्फ हमारा राशन कार्ड नहीं है, इसमें हमको in terms of health services भी दिया जाता है, both from the central government as well from the state government. Ration card में अगर for any common people अगर ration card देखा जाए तो इसमें it's a facility with a number with 5 को अगर किसी कोई layman भी 5 रखने से बहुत ही अच्छा रहेगा. 5 for your 5 kg चावल और 5 for your facilities also for 5 lakhs.
In sports news, India scored 358 for the loss of 9 wickets against Australia in their first innings at stumps on day 3 of 4 tests of Border-Gavaskar Trophy in Melbourne today. The visitors, however, are trailing by 116 runs in reply to Australia's first innings total of 474. Stumps were drawn early today due to bad light. Indian all-rounder Nitish Kumar Reddy scored his maiden test century. Nitish with an impressive 105 and Mohammad Siraj with 2 were at the crease when stumps were drawn today. In global news, NASA has announced that its Parker solar probe was safe and operating normally after successfully completing the closest ever approach to the Sun by any human-made object. The spacecraft passed 3.8 million miles from the solar surface on December 24th, flying into the Sun's outer atmosphere called the corona on a mission to help scientists learn more about Earth's closest star. The agency said the operations team at the Johns Hopkins Applied Physics Laboratory in Maryland received the signal, a beacon tone, from their probe just before midnight on Thursday. The spacecraft is expected to send detailed telemetry data about its status on January 1st, NASA said. In news from Sikkim, a bi-monthly inspection of dams associated with the NHPC and Dance Energy Power Project at Soreng in Sikkim was conducted by a district team to ensure safety measures and warning mechanisms in place at the hydropower project locations in the state. During the inspection, the teams assessed the adequacy of warning signs, communication systems and other safety devices. Additionally, the team carefully inspected the signage and warning mechanisms which aims to alert people about potential dangers. Some of the measures checked included power and communication lines, audible devices, beacons and signage lights. In more news from Sikkim, Soreng district achieved remarkable success at the state-level Youth Festival 2025 held at Paljor Stadium in Gangtok as a part of National Youth Festival 2025. The district excelled across multiple categories, showcasing its strong participation in cultural, academic and artistic competitions. The Soreng district team was led by Mamita Gurung, Deputy Director, Sports and Youth Affairs, Soreng district, with 32 participants and 2 escorts. A joint team of Manipur Police, Assam Rifles, Forest Department and Executive Magistrate conducted poppy destruction in the Langhoimol area in Churachandpur district on Friday. As many as 7 acres of poppy plantation were destroyed during the exercise. Meanwhile, an FIR has been registered in this connection and efforts are on to identify and book the cultivators. And to end the news, the main points once again. Mortal remains of former Prime Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh consigned to flames with full state honours in New Delhi today. President Draupadi Murmu, Prime Minister Narendra Modi attend cremation ceremony. Manipur Chief Minister N. Biren Singh condemns indiscriminate firing by militants on civilians and security personnel in Imphal East. Chairman of the Grand Council of Chiefs, John F. Karshing, urges Meghalaya government to implement a stable economic policy to attract private investors. Arunachal Pradesh Deputy Chief Minister Chona Amin calls on Union Environment Minister in New Delhi today, discusses key issues concerning environment and climate change. And in the Border-Gavaskar Trophy, India scores 358 runs for the loss of 9 wickets against Australia in their first innings on day 3 of the 4 tests in Melbourne. And that brings us to the end of this evening's bulletin. Thank you for tuning in. Namaskar.